Matthew? Our parents are planning to meet in another hour or so for the first time, right? But your parents are telling me that they haven't been able to get a hold of you all morning. And right now, they're really worried about where you are. That's why I'm texting you now. And I just tried giving you a call a few minutes ago, but you didn't even pick up. I hope that you're okay right now, and will be here in time for when our parents finally meet. Can you at least tell me where you are? I'm going to go and get my parents now and bring them out, so I'd better see you with your parents when it's time.
What's up? Wendy? Ah, that's right. Today's the day we're supposed to be introducing our parents to each other. That's not good.
Matthew! What the hell has been going on with you? You haven't been responding to any of us, and we've been worried sick.
I'm sorry. I've been driving for a couple hours now and had no time to look at my phone.
What? Are you on your way to come meet us all here now?
Well, about that. I completely forgot that our parents are meeting each other today, and so I'm on my way to a ski resort to have a bit of fun for a couple of days.
You're heading to a ski resort? The day before yesterday, you and I were literally on the phone with each other talking about our parents' meeting.
You called me way too early in the morning, and I was half asleep talking to you. I don't even remember half of that. I was probably thinking it was some sort of dream. Sorry.
Seriously? Well then, what are we going to do about today?
The only option now is to cancel the plans we made.
This isn't something that I can just cancel right now. We are supposed to all be meeting right now, so it's way too sudden. And right now, we're here at the place we plan on getting married at, so I was hoping this would be a great place to have everyone meet and chat.
But listen, when it comes to you and I getting married, we're going to need the permission from our parents to do that first, right? Having them all meet and talk about us getting married at the place we want to have our wedding at is a bit too crazy for my parents. I don't think it will leave a good impression.
But canceling this whole meetup right when we're all showing up is even more crazy, and neither of our parents are going to approve of that from you.
Ah, that's a good point. And what's even worse is that you already reserved that place for the 6 of us to have dinner, so canceling now means you'll still have to pay. But hey, you don't have to get too worried about the hefty price for canceling, because our parents can handle it for us.
You shouldn't even be thinking of that right now, Matthew. It's not about the money, but the fact that you forgot about this very important plan and aren't going to show up for it.
Yeah, I'll take care of paying for that place so you can stop worrying about it. You know that marrying me means you'll be getting a lot of money from me, so you don't have to get so upset over something as cheap as that place.
What? You think you'll be bringing me a lot of money in this marriage? What are you talking about?
No matter what you try and do about today, I'm already way out of town and won't be able to come back in time to see you all. If I turned around right now, I'd be back in town later tonight, which is way too late, right?
Seriously? By the way, why the hell did you even go on a ski trip today anyway? Even if you did forget about the meeting our parents and us were supposed to have today, isn't it a bit too sudden for you to be going on a trip like that without telling me?
Right, well, I chose to go on this trip pretty quickly. Originally, my friend was planning to go on this trip with another one of their friends, but that friend ended up having another plan get in the way, so I was invited to go last minute. My friend said that instead of having to cancel the whole trip, it'd just be easier to have me join.
And so, instead of looking at what plans you already had for today, you just decided to tag along with that friend without any second thoughts?
I'm sorry. But since I'm on this ski trip right now, we'll have to do this whole parents meeting thing another day.
Another day. Aren't you being just a little too careless about our relationship right now?
But I'm saying you don't have to get so worked up over what happened. I'm your fiancé, and I'm saying that it's going to be fine, so you shouldn't have any complaints, right?
Right. That's the kind of person I should have expected you to be. All right, then. I'll tell our parents that you're not going to be making it here today. And I'd like you to sort all of this out with your parents later, okay?
Okay. I'm so close to the resort now, so I'll see you later.
Hey, Wendy. Just because you had one date canceled on you, that doesn't mean you can keep complaining about it over and over again, okay? Emma? It's been a while. The last time I think the two of us talked with one another was years ago at our class reunion, just after we both turned 21, right? And what's this about having a date canceled? Just a second ago, I was talking with Matthew about that whole situation of yours. I am finally able to go on this ski trip with him, so can you stop getting all upset with him and in the way of our trip? What? Hold on a sec. What? The person that Matthew said invited him out to go to that ski resort was you? Yeah, it was me. Is there anyone else on that trip with you guys? Nope. It's just him and I sharing a room together at this ski resort. Huh? Well, you shouldn't be getting that upset about it, right? The two of us are just enjoying a little vacation together. Listen, Wendy, you need to be more careful about having Matthew on a leash like that. If you keep trying to hold him by your side all the time, he's only going to try harder to break free. It was just one date that he had to cancel on suddenly. And he only did that so he could go on a small trip with another woman. This isn't something to be so worked up over, and you should try to be a bit more lenient with him and his choices, okay? He even told me that he wants a more relaxed relationship. Today, he canceled on a date with me? Look at what you're doing. You're trying to pick at every word I say like some kind of maniac. We didn't have any plans to go out on a date today, though. We'd only planned on having our parents meet face-to-face at lunch today before we get married. Huh? Wait, are you really trying to restrain Matthew that much that you're willing to marry him and keep him all to yourself? Oh my God, you're already at the worst stage of being a greedy girlfriend. Whether you think I'm trying to restrain him or not, the only reason that we were supposed to have this meeting today is so our parents could see how happy we are together. But to tell you the truth, our whole relationship started because his parents introduced me to him. Huh? Emma, I've known you as the type of girl that finds joy in stealing other women's boyfriends and playing around with their feelings. And I'm sure that even this time, you plan on doing exactly the same thing with Matthew. But Emma, you are an employee for one of the companies that Matthew's dad's company works together with, right? So, based on your position within that company, you're going to start a very bad situation between everyone involved.
Wendy, why didn't you say something about all of this earlier to me? Your grandpa? He's one of my dad's company's biggest shareholders?
Well, if that weren't the case, would you not be texting me right now?
I just assumed that because your dad only works as a factory floorman, my parents were leagues above yours, making me the far more powerful person in our relationship.
So that's what all of that was about. A little while back, you said that me marrying you meant that I'd be getting a lot of your money. What you thought of our parents is the reason why you were saying that then.
Not telling me about all of this before is ridiculous of you.
Wait, why is that ridiculous of me? As your father's son, and the one expected to be taking over his company when he retires, you've been joining him at all of those meetings with his shareholders, right? And I know that you've already met my grandparents before. So you should have noticed my dad always sitting in on those meetings with your dad and the other shareholders, and gotten a pretty good idea of who my family is, right? Heck, I've even talked with you before about how your parents are pretty close to my grandpa, right?
Huh?
Did you know that I am also aware of your dad's company needing me to marry you to save it? At the moment, his company isn't doing so well, but your dad thinks that by having me marry you, it'll help make his company look more suitable for my grandpa and other shareholders to put more money into. Well, all of that aside, you have really messed up, Matthew. While we were supposed to have a very important lunch with all our parents finally being able to meet, you went off to a ski resort, leaving us all behind, and proceeded to cheat on me. In other words, showing me that you don't want to marry me. That's not good, Matthew.
I'd like you to hold on for a couple seconds. I'm sure that you're even aware that us humans are not perfect, and every so often we can act on our bad consciences, right? So?
So?
So,
I know what?
well, I didn't mean to actually do any of that, and it was just a slip-up.
If you're waiting for me to say that I'll forgive you, or that I'll forget something like this ever happened between us, you're going to be waiting a very long time.
Wait,
Well, if that's not it, then what should I know, Matthew?
well, if you don't stay together with me and get married, then my dad is going to let my older sister have the company, and I'll get nothing when he retires. So please, Wendy, can you please stop thinking that I don't want to marry you anymore after what happened? I'll even be willing to pay you some kind of settlement, and as for Emma, I'll make sure that things between me and her look like they never even happened.
Don't worry, as I already know that you'll be paying for whatever settlement I ask for. And as for Emma, you can continue whatever shallow romance you had with her.
Then this means you're going to forgive me, right?
That's not at all what any of this means. By the way, Matthew, wasn't it already known that your older sister would be taking your dad's place after he retires? I could have sworn that's what everyone had been talking about in those meetings before.
What?
I never even heard from anyone about you being the one to take your dad's place as the CEO of that company. And even my grandpa is saying that he's going to have your sister take his place.
Huh?
And now that I've mentioned that, there is some bad news for Emma as well. Emma is an employee for one of the companies that works together with your dad's company as a customer, and the news of her having a secret relation with you, even though you have a fiancé, is beginning to spread. And what's even worse is the money used to take you both on that little ski trip was money from the company she's working for. The company is now asking for her to stay home and not come into work as they investigate what's going on.
You know about that as well?
Well, if you're willing to cheat on me with one of your dad's customers' employees, then I don't think you even have a chance at becoming the next CEO.
What's going to happen to me then?
Don't try asking me a question like that, because I have no clue. But just know that the two of us are no longer getting married. I'm going to have a lawyer begin talking with you about the steps following this, so make sure to keep your eyes and ears open for when they come to talk to you.
Are you kidding me? Are you not even going to bother giving me one more chance to make this all up to you?
Actually, I've had enough of being your fiancé and girlfriend. What you've done this past week or so has really worn me and my emotions down, and I just don't have it in me anymore to be around you. So there's no reason for me to give you a second chance, and even now it's killing me to have to text you.
Wendy!
Goodbye, Matthew. Why do I have to pay you any kind of settlement now? And not just that, but I'm going to have to be fired for what happened as well? I was really only wanting you to talk with my lawyer about this, Emma. I have to come face to face with you about this, so that you know just how pissed off I am about everything. Ugh. I'm sure that I already know all the details about you and Matthew, as I've heard enough from him about it. But that trip you took with Matthew to the ski resort? You used money from the company you work for to pay for that whole trip, right? So, do you now see doing something like that as a good reason for your employer to fire you? Huh? What do you know about that? Normally, someone like me wouldn't know a thing about that, but I am in touch with both Matthew and his family, so I learn all kinds of things about what's going on within your guys' worlds. And after learning that Matthew had been cheating on me, there was no reason to not go searching for answers as to why and how it was all happening. What the heck? I know that I'm only watching all of this take place from outside, but getting upset at me for what you both did is not going to get you anywhere closer to being forgiven by your employer, or Matthew's family. And as for that settlement, that has nothing to do with me either, so I'm not even going to comment on it. What? That is all something you and Matthew need to talk about, right? You did things you're not supposed to do, with someone who is the son of a CEO your employer works with. Complaining to me about what's happened and what's going to happen will not change things for you, and is a bit annoying for me. Then if you're not the problem, you can at least help me. I have nothing to do with your problems now. I'm being asked to pay a settlement, but if I'm fired, I won't have the money to. Not having any kind of employment at this moment in my life where money matters most is just horrible. But what I've been trying to say is that you coming to me about all that isn't going to do you any good. I'm not even the one asking for your money right now, because I believe that you did all of that with Matthew not knowing that he's been engaged to me. So please stop complaining to me. But I don't have any money. I seriously have no idea what I'm going to do now. Matthew's father's company and the factory that my dad works in still have a contract that they'll continue to hold, and my grandpa is still waiting to be the primary shareholder for his dad's company. And as for Matthew cheating on me and ruining any chance of getting married to me, we've decided to try our best to keep the whole situation private, and out of as many ears as possible. And as for Matthew himself, he had to choose between being completely kicked out of his family or having to find work of his own from now on with no hopes of having anything to do with his dad's company. And in the end, he chose the latter. And as for the money he got for leaving his position within his dad's company, it was all given to me as a settlement. And when it comes to what happened after leaving his dad's company, his parents kicked him out of their house and had him moved into an apartment. Emma suffered pretty much the same fate as Matthew. However, instead, she didn't receive any money. Instead, she was fired from the company and had to use whatever money she had left to pay off the settlement to her ex-employers. This left her with a total of $0, and that was followed by her parents kicking her out of their house. After the two of them took so much damage after what they'd done, they both decided it'd be better to stay together rather than break up. So Matthew took Emma into his apartment to live together. However, that apartment was very old and the walls very thin. They always get into massive fights there about money and who messed up more, leading to lots of complaints from other tenants. It's only a matter of time until their landlord kicks them out of there, and they'll really have to start again with nothing. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and also feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hi, Sylvia. You asked me recently whether I wanted to marry you or not, right? You said you wanted to get married soon and that you would be the one proposing, but you wanted my answer as soon as possible. Why do you want to get married in the first place?
Yup, I did say that, Lionel. I want to get married soon because I'm going to turn 30 in just a half a month now, after all. I want children as well, if possible, and considering my age, I thought that we should make the decision around now.
You want children, huh? Yeah, I think I don't want to marry you after all.
What? Why not? Do you not want children or something?
To tell you the truth, I want to have a bit more fun while I'm young. Getting married and having children is such a hassle, you know? We won't have much money to spend on our own amusement if we have children, and we'll have to take the time to take care of them.
A hassle? I know raising children is a lot of work, but you're going to give up being a parent just because it's a hassle?
Yeah, I think I am. Besides, there's no need to sound so down. The difference between a married couple and an unmarried couple is just whether they turned in some piece of paper to the city hall or not. Even children, you can still give birth when in your 40s, right? If you think about it like that, we can have fun for 10 more years. Why go through the trouble now when we don't have to?
So you're telling me to give birth once I'm in my 40s?
I mean, you said yourself that you wanted to have children, right? So it shouldn't be a problem for you, right?
Yeah, but I want you to think about the risks of giving birth to children in your 40s. That's why I'm talking to you about this right now. We can't put this off any longer than we already have, Lionel.
What's the matter with you, Sylvia? You sound a lot more anxious than usual. Well, if you really mean what you're saying, then I guess we have no choice but to break up.
Huh? Break up? After we've been going out for the past 10 years?
Yeah, I'm not interested in this marriage and children stuff. If you don't want to break up, then I want things to stay the same.
I understand. That's fine then.
Yep. Let's just keep things the way they are and not worry about marriage and stuff. I'm glad you finally get the point.
No, I meant that it's fine if we break up.
What? But we've been going out for 10 years. Can't just break up now. Oh, I know. You're bluffing right now too to get what you want, right? Well, it's not gonna work.
I wonder what these past 10 years I spent with you were. Now that I think about it, all we did was kill time together. I honestly don't understand anymore. Goodbye, Lionel.
What? Sylvia? Did you just get mad or something? Just contact me when you're in a better mood, okay? Hey, Sylvia. It's been 5 years, right? I'm finally ready to get married, so I decided to contact you again. I think I'm going to accept that offer of yours now. Anyways, you moved sometime after we broke up, right? Just because you got mad at me and were in a bad mood doesn't mean you can just keep your new address a secret from your boyfriend. I thought you were still living in that old apartment of yours, you see. I wore a suit and bought some roses and a wedding ring because I intended to propose to you. To think that I was so nervous when I rang the doorbell, but when the door opened, a completely different person greeted me. It was so awkward. So, where are you living now? I've got a surprise for you as well, so I want to tell you it, so I want you to tell it to me by tomorrow. Hey, anyone there? Don't tell me that you're still mad about that fight we had over 5 years ago, are you? I didn't take you for the kind of person to hold a grudge. Jesus, I better make sure not to make you mad once we get married. What's your new address, Sylvia? Just tell me when you see these texts, I guess.
What the fuck? Is that you, Lionel? Shit, I must have forgotten to block you. What is it that you want?
Oh, so you finally saw the messages I sent you. What do you mean by you forgot to block me? Why in the world would you ever do that? I'm your boyfriend. But we've got more important matters. Seriously, what in the world are you doing? Jesus. If you don't hurry up and tell me your new address, the surprise I have planned for you tomorrow will be ruined. Hurry up and tell me your new address. It won't do if I don't know how long it will take you to get to the venue, right?
I'm not going to tell you my new address. And what do you mean by a surprise?
I told you by text yesterday, didn't I? I'm finally ready to marry you, so I have a surprise prepared.
I don't know what you plan on doing, but I don't want your surprise. I have no intention of marrying you anyways, let alone of meeting you again.
Huh? Are you seriously still mad at me? Jeez. Will you just let it go already? You're the one who said you wanted to get married, right? What's with the sudden change of heart? And to think that I was finally ready to get married.
I said I don't have any intention of marrying you anymore. Besides, didn't we break up 5 years ago? Did you seriously think that I haven't moved on by now?
Huh? What do you mean you moved on? Oh, I get it. You're still mad about the fight we had 5 years ago. Seriously, Sylvia, just let it go already.
That's not the point. Yes, I was mad at the time, but that was 5 years ago and I've already moved on. It's not that I'm mad, it's just that you're not a part of my life anymore, Lionel. Why'd you even think of contacting me in the first place?
Fine. Then why don't we just get back together and get married then if we broke up and you've moved on, as you say?
What? Do you seriously not get what I'm trying to say? I have zero intention of getting back together with you, Lionel. Stop texting me.
It's no use trying to lie to me, Sylvia. I see right through you. I mean, we did go out for 10 years. I know you still like me after all this time, and it's so obvious that you're still into me. I'll accept the proposal you made to me 5 years ago. So just come to the wedding venue tomorrow, alright?
The wedding venue? Huh? Did you seriously reserve a wedding venue or something?
Of course I did.
But aren't weddings supposed to be planned out by the couple first? I think there are a lot of things that can't be decided without the bride there. What did you do about the wedding preparation?
Oh yeah, you're right. They told me the bride needed to be there to plan the wedding with me, which is why I had your sister cooperate inside for you.
My sister?
Yep, she's about the same age as you and looks like you too, so I had her pretend to be the bride and come with me for the wedding preparation.
What? You know that I cut ties with my sister when I was 28, right? She caused so much trouble that even our parents cut ties with her. I told you that she was crazy, Lionel, but you still decided to approach her. Who knows what she's planning? If I were you, I'd just cancel the wedding and have nothing to do with my sister anymore.
Oh, come on, Sylvia, you're exaggerating. Your sister's a perfectly normal person. I don't know why you ever cut ties with someone so sweet. Besides, there's no need to worry about the details. The planning's already done, and all you have to do now is come to the wedding. The wedding venue for tomorrow is called H Wedding and is in K City. They said they need the bride to be there by 8 a.m., so don't be late, alright?
What in the world make you think that I'd actually go? Have you seriously not been reading my texts?
There's no need to be shy. You've known each other for so long. I know that when you're like this, you actually mean the opposite.
Sorry, but I have a date with my husband tomorrow, so I can't come.
What? Your husband? Oh, you mean me? You're right, I was intending to turn in our marriage papers tomorrow. But what do you mean you can't come to our wedding because you have a date with me? We can't just postpone the wedding and go on a date if that's what you meant, Sylvia.
No, that isn't what I meant. And by my husband, I don't mean you, Lionel. You see, I already got married with another man 3 years ago. I even have children now.
Huh?
Now that you know all this, I guess I'll tell you the rest, since you'll find out sooner or later anyways. My husband is your second cousin, Manuel.
What? Manuel? But he's 5 years younger than you. I knew you were that kind of woman, but still.
That's right, judge me if you want, but I don't care. By the way, I started going out with Manuel not knowing that he was your second cousin. I only found out that he was your second cousin at our wedding, because amongst his relatives at the wedding was your cousin, which I had met before.
What? Why did you not tell me about this?
Because we had already broken up and didn't feel the need. Still, I was so surprised when I saw your cousin there. After a bit of investigation, I found out that your cousin had already cut ties with you since you tried to interfere in some of their inheritance business when you had no right to do so. I heard that both you and your parents were shunned by the rest of your relatives. Is that true?
That has nothing to do with our marriage. We'll talk about it afterwards if you want.
Tell me, does this mean that you have a debt or something?
Just a tiny one, maybe?
My father is the CEO of a company. You might have been planning to marry me so that you could get the position of the next CEO of my father's company, getting rid of your debt in the process. But it's not going to work.
How did you know that?
I mean, thinking only about how you yourself could benefit from a situation is your specialty, isn't it?
So that's what you thought of me all along?
Yup. I don't know why I didn't break up with you sooner. But isn't that also why you refused to marry me 5 years ago? You didn't want to get married and have children because it would be a hassle for you, right? You wouldn't be able to spend as much money on your own entertainment if you had children to take care of, after all.
That's unrelated. What matters is that I'm finally ready to marry you.
Yeah, but I'm not. Anyways, I got off topic. Like I said earlier, I already have a husband and children. Oh, and about my father's company, the next CEO was already decided 2 years ago, and he's someone completely unrelated to me.
What did you say? So I'm not going to become a CEO even if I marry you?
Yes, although you're not going to marry me in the first place. Well, that's all I have to say. You understand now that you won't benefit from marrying me anymore. I think that's enough to make you give up, right?
Seriously? What am I going to do about tomorrow's wedding then? I had a really extravagant wedding plan since I thought that your family would be able to pay for it in the future.
Each wedding at K-City, right? I heard that wedding ceremonies there are really expensive.
Lend me some money, will you? This wedding was supposed to be yours in the first place. This is partly your fault, so at least pay for half of the cancellation fee.
No, I'm not going to lend you money, and I'm not going to pay for the cancellation fees.
Come on, don't be so stingy. At least think about it a little longer. Seriously? What am I supposed to do now? Sylvia, help me. What should I do? I was forced to marry your sister. Was she planning this all this time? You're right, she really is crazy.
Huh? So that's what she was up to. I told you that you would regret having anything to do with my sister, didn't I?
I was surrounded by a bunch of tough-looking guys and forced to come to the wedding. And then they forced me to say the wedding vow with your sister at the chapel. The wedding papers I had prepared for you and me as well. They made me sign it with your sister's name as the wife's name. I admit it, you were right, so please help me.
Hold on. By the surprise you had planned for me, were you planning on getting me and my sister to make up or something? Did you seriously think that that was going to make me happy?
I mean, who wouldn't want to make up with their long-lost sister?
She's insane, Lionel. Although, I guess you know that by now. You asked her to pretend to be me during the wedding preparations, right? I had the feeling that you would tell her to come on the wedding day as well.
Oh, yeah. I was intending on that.
I see. So that means my sister was planning on marrying you from the start. No one's going to deny it now, since you had her pretend to be your wife after all.
Huh? But surely they'll believe me if I tell them what really happened, right?
I think that's going to cause you a whole host of other problems. Anyways, it looks like you haven't noticed until now, but apparently you're exactly the kind of guy my sister wants. Even when we were together, she would always annoy me by saying, "Give me your boyfriend." It honestly pissed me off really bad.
Huh? She said that to you? Why do you never tell me about this?
I don't know. I guess it was embarrassing. Now that I think about it, I think that the reason I stayed with you for 10 years was because I unconsciously didn't want my sister to have you, and not because I liked you or anything. Yep, I was pretty foolish back then.
What are you talking about? I don't get anything you've been saying, Sylvia. Do you mean that you only stayed with me for 10 years to spite your sister? Fine, just help me then, will you? I have no intention of marrying your sister.
Stop asking me for a solution to this mess, alright?
I wonder if the only solution is to do something about those tough-looking guys following your sister around.
I don't know.
Wait, who are those people in the first place?
I said I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Hold on, don't tell me they're part of some gang.
Hey, could you please stop asking me? I really don't know, and I don't want to accidentally say anything strange that might get me involved in this mess.
What? So you're just going to leave me? Don't you feel the least bit responsible for this?
I don't.
Uh,
I mean, it's my ex-boyfriend and my sister who I cut ties with, so there's no way I'm going to get involved with that. The only reason I'm replying to your texts right now is because we think that this is an irregular situation. Your second cousin and my husband, Emmanuel, are reading these texts and only replying because we have to.
Huh? Manuel's there with you?
Yeah, he is. There's something he wants to tell you as well.
What the hell does he want with me?
We cut ties with you and your family because all you three cared about was money. I don't want anyone like that bothering my wife, he says.
But, I really need you to help me right now. I don't really want to get married.
I see. Bye.
Huh? But Sylvia!
After that conversation, I blocked Lionel, confused as to whether he wanted to get married or not. The only reason he was able to text me in the first place was because I forgot to block him all those years ago. I heard about what happened after that from a friend who knew what happened, but it seems like Lionel and my sister haven't broken up and are now living together. Apparently, my sister is pregnant with Lionel's baby, and won't let him leave her because she wants Lionel to take responsibility for the baby. To be honest, I wanted to make a joke and tell him something about how he's been making my sister pretend to be me for too long, but I restrained myself. My sister, on the other hand, who was finally able to marry the man of her dreams, hasn't noticed that her new husband was in a huge amount of debt, it seems. I wonder for just how long this happiness of theirs will last. Actually, I guess they were never really happy in the first place.